Hey guys, so this is one of the coolest offices we recently delivered 2 months back. I would like you to take you around the Space Wisdom. So one of the themes where we wanted to keep the office much more agile, modern. We wanted to have a bit of a plants all over the place, which adds up to the wellness. Come inside. So as soon as we had a restriction of height over here, the height what we got was about 8 feet 5 inches. So in spite of height, we wanted to make the space as big as possible. So as soon as someone enters the space, the openness of the whole entire space is with more collaborative spaces. So we created a bit of this collaborative space where people can take a break from their normal workstations and work out of this place. Plus, what happens is the trend is towards using multi-functional spaces. What do I mean by multifunctional spaces? Is spaces where people use it for collaboration, for example this space, and for small town hall meetings where you don't have a larger spaces. So if you, even though you have a space restriction, try to create these multi-functional spaces. So this is one of the areas. We create a small waiting area where if a visitor or anyone comes in, still there's a nice cushioning towards this area. Again, this is a multi-functional cabinet what we had created. So if you want to gather more, so these are nice cushionings where we created, can be used to that space as well. And this is where it's more of a decor. It just feels to the part of the whole space. If you look at the flooring, so we have bifurcated the walkways with the spaces where people is much more acoustic driven. So we use nice carpets. So there's a nice bifurcation. These are a few cabins what we created. What we wanted to create in these spaces is not to name these meeting rooms at a specific room. So there's a lot of thought process which has gone for these spaces. Again, we wanted to create that grandeur for the management who is going to be using these spaces. Again, this is a well thought across where all the meeting rooms has been designed to name the space more. For example, these two-seater meeting rooms has been named as Ocean Breeze. So it's relevance to the colors what we've used. Again, these are vibrant colors. These are going to light up your entire space. So that's something what we had designed. And what we have done in this entire spaces, we have created pockets where they could have one-to-one meetings. We have created a lot of phone booths. And if you see, this is a value wall where companies' value has been very clearly mentioned over here. This is a value wall. Similar thing what we created in Bangalore. So value wall just says about company values, and that's the brand identity what we wanted to create from Bangalore to Bangalore. So that's something what we had done. Again, with a lot of greens. Again, the space looks much more open. So one of the key things when you're designing a space or you're delivering a space is from one point to another point, I like to see the entire space at one go. So that's something which is we are really good at doing the spaces. This is one of the notice boards what we had created, something more of a DIY kind where you can do it in a very little different way. Again, if you look at these meeting rooms, these are informal meeting rooms where you can have one-to-one discussion. These are phone booths. So again, this avocado kiwi relates to the colors which have been used. Again, the colors, as that was turquoise, this is green. The colors are more relatable to the space, which looks much more open and vibrant. This is a beautiful pantry space what we had created out here, where we had these greens. We had a nice bright signages. We had again these vibrant colors. This is one of the space what we had created was only for make it just look cool. So I mean, most of the employees or the management wanted a cool space, so we wanted something very different out of the box. So that's the reason what we add a bit of splash of colors. Where you're designing a space, the space has to have a lot of natural ventilation. So use a lot of natural light. The space has to be multifunctional. One space can be used in multiple different ways. Second thing, this place has to look modern. So modern to where the Gen Zs can relate to. So if you look at in the entire space, we broke down the entire windows to create that ventilation and natural lighting. So if you without the lights itself, the place should look much more lit than what it otherwise. So you use facade side. There's not much of the meeting rooms what we use. That's one of the key tips, that don't block the natural light come in, because that'll add up to your interior space. Keep things as open as natural as possible. Keep the ceilings light, depends on the ceiling height, because over here, since we have a restriction in terms of ceiling height, that's the reason we have kept the ceiling as light as possible to make it look much more vibrant. And that's about it. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching this channel.